Hello everyone, I'm Charlie Danis of Capital Athletics, and joining me now the head football coach of Capital Crusaders. That would be Mr. Craig Candeto. And Coach, coming off of another tough loss, the rivalry game against Otterbein. I'm a positive guy, so let's talk about the first half. 3 drives that lasted 6 or more plays, and a couple of those times Nick Iskey was able to score via a rushing touchdown. So there was some positives to take away from that first half, and you guys kept it close, only down by 6 at the half. Can you talk a little bit about what you saw from your team in the first half, including what you saw from your quarterback, Nick Iskey?
Yeah, we had some success early, like you said, and 3 of those drives, scoring drives. We had a fourth, the second drive of the game that stopped inside, I think, their 30. We got stopped on 4th down. So was very encouraged by the way our offense came out, coming off a shutout last week and only 60 yards of offense. I think our guys embraced the challenge and came out and played pretty well in the first half, and we kept that thing close.
Now let's go to the second half. Unfortunately, 31 unanswered points by Otterbein. They got themselves a pretty good offense. What went wrong in that second half?
Yeah, I think our defense did a nice job. Came out and it wasn't a 3 and out, but we got a stop to start the second half. They obviously got the football, and then we had an opportunity to put a drive together and possibly go up by a point. There if we scored on that first drive of the second half on offense, and we stalled out. And we had a penalty that pushed us back. I think we ended up in a 4th and 3, which, 5-yard penalty, 4th and 3. I tell our guys that's a first down had we not made the mistake. We jumped off sides there, illegal procedure, which really hurt us. And then we kick it back to them. They score on the first play of that drive, and I think it's a 60-yard touchdown run for them. We didn't do some things on defense as far as our technique that we needed to do, so they busted a big one and put them up 2 scores. And then we get the ball back and another penalty and back us up 5 more yards. So really our first 3 drives in the second half offensively had 3 penalties that really set us back. We had a holding on our third drive of that third quarter, and then obviously if we're not moving the football, it's hard for our defense to continue to stay inspired, and when we're 3 and out, it's tough on those guys to be back on the field. So we didn't play well on either side in that third quarter.
Obviously frustrating, especially when you lose to Otterbein, but I would assume that a lot of teachable moments. Obviously they moved the football in the first half, struggled in the second half. Again, we keep talking about the theme of keeping everything in perspective. Still a lot of learning to do for your young team.
No question, and that's how I attacked it this week, and we did it as a coaching staff. I called out several guys in the meeting, our team meeting yesterday, and just said, hey, did you make some good plays on Saturday? And they were very reluctant to say, yes, I made some good plays, and then I said, did you miss some plays that you could have made on Saturday? And I just really emphasized the fact that you saw it on film. You could have made those plays, right? You have that ability to make those plays. Just for whatever reason we didn't, and if we can get those corrected, that may be the difference in winning and losing a football game. So just trying to instill in our guys that we're pretty close. We're there. We're not making enough plays to win, but there's certainly obtainable plays that we can make in those games to win the football game.
So now the Ohio Northern Panthers, Polar Bears, excuse me, they come into Bern Lawrence Stadium coming up this week, and one of the guys that really stands out on their team is quarterback Patrick Engel. He is one of the top dual threat quarterbacks in the OAC. When you watch the film, what jumps out at you of Mr. Engel?
Well, first of all, I think Ohio Northern overall, they may be the best 2-3 team in the country. Their 3 losses are to 3 very good football teams in our conference, so they're certainly going to present a challenge for us. As far as their quarterback, he's a guy that's coming back with some experience, and he's got a very good release. He distributes the football, has some playmakers around. Very skilled football team. They've done a nice job. Coach Paul, he's done a nice job recruiting and building their depth up, and they've been a very successful program over the years, and it stands out on film that they've got some great players.
Also, what stands out of the film to me, at least when I was looking at the statistics, yes, they have 3 losses, and obviously some of those losses have been tough against John Carroll, Mountain Union, and the like, but 3rd worst rushing defense in the OAC, worst pass defense, worst overall defense in terms of yards given up. How much stock do you take into those statistics? Because obviously they've gone up against some pretty tough teams. At the same time, you're trying to get your guys to have some confidence going into this game against the Polar Bears, and obviously there are some holes that can be attacked in that Polar Bears defense.
Right, and again, talk about who they faced. That is a big factor in the statistics. I think they gave up 700 yards to Heidelberg, but the fact is they had about 600 on offense. So I think they gave up over 600 to Mount Union. So we gave up 600 to Mount Union. So they are a little bit skewed, so I don't put a lot of stock in that. But I do think there are some opportunities out there. We moved the ball at times last year against their defense, and I do know that they're a little bit younger this year on their defense than they were last year. And I think that factors in. Obviously, we're living that right now with our defense. So not a ton of returning starters, which I think factors into why they're struggling a little bit.
All right, Coach. Well, hopefully you'll be able to attack that defense going up against the Polar Bears. Good luck.
Thanks, Charlie.
That was Craig Candeto, the head coach of Capital Crusaders football, as he will get set to take on the Ohio Northern Polar Bears at Byrne-Lawrence Stadium. Capital looking for his third win here in the 2014 season. For Capital Athletics, I'm Charlie Danis. We'll see you next time.